Well, Alba Iulia, until our technology is fixed, is maybe the most interesting capital that you have never heard of until now. And I will have the honor to present you one project that Alba Iulia is implementing with the EU funding, URBACT program. And Alba Iulia is for the first time, actually is the first Romanian city leading a consortium of 8 European cities who want to improve their branding strategies. And yes, Alba Iulia is the city where the first brand manual took place, and the project I am talking about today is Europe's first strategic brand building program for smart cities. Because, of course, we need technologies, we need smart city projects, but we also need to very well communicate them to the final users in order to have an efficient project. So, as I said, maybe the most interesting capital you have never heard of, situated in Transylvania. Actually, Transylvania is a real region, it really exists, and we are situated in the centers. And 8 years ago, we started to build our brand strategy. Alba Iulia, the other capital, welcome to the largest fortress in Romania. It is not just a logo, but one of the first city brand strategies in Europe. Alba Iulia, as I said, is today leading a hub in smart city marketing in European Union. And this is the project financed by URBACT, together with the other 7 cities across Europe. So find your greatness is what we want. We are nobody. So compared to the real capital of Romania, we are very small, from no man's land. As the presenter said, from Romania, a country with a lot of challenges. So, how did an unknown city manage to be a good practice in city marketing? We have Adrian Docea, he's a Romanian, but he's also an URBACT expert in city marketing. This is how the story begins. So we have the largest fortress in Romania, and we managed to use 60 million euros to restore it. And when we built the street city strategy, we actually realized that the city has been a capital for a long time ago. The capital of the province of Dacia, of the Roman Empire, the capital of Transylvania, the capital where the kings of Romania were crowned, the place of the coronation of Romania kings, the place where Romania was born in 1918 as a modern state. So, it might not be the actual capital of Romania, but for surely it is the other capital of Romania. So, we are a David confronting Goliath with small resources as a small city as we are, and we want to build on the largest fortress of Romania. So now we have more than 500,000 of visitors per year, compared with 30,000 visitors in 2003. The city found its voice and its identity. So we want to become a capital of festivals, a capital of beauty, a capital of youth, a capital of art, a medieval capital, because the reenactment activities bring life to the restored fortress, a capital of Roman heritage, and also an ecumenical capital, because we have a cathedral 1,000 years old. Also, we have a very important library, so we want to become a capital of science as well, and the royal capital. We are also awarded of being a European destination of excellence by the European Commission, and also by the EU Commission for the restoration of the fortress and accessing EU funding. Brand strategy can be a change for a city. So Alba Iulia is an example of a city upgrade, we say. As I said, we are the first city to have a brand manual, the first city with an integrated digital welcome pack for tourists in Romania, and the first city in Romania to have a public transportation with biofuel, free Wi-Fi, geolocation, SMS tickets, and so on. We are also trying to use a lot of resources, so these are part of the projects that we are already implementing in Alba Iulia. We managed to attract more than 200 million euros in the last 10 years that ranks us first between the Romanian county capitals in attracting EU funding. We are also the first city in Romania and Eastern Europe to sign a contract with the World Bank. World Bank help us to prioritize our projects. And because we are also very transparent, we have contract with one of the largest rating agencies in the world, Moody's. So, Alba Iulia, how come we become also the first smart city in Romania? That was also a big challenge for a small city like Alba Iulia. We had a collaboration with the Ministry of Communication, and we said, okay, Alba Iulia is the place where in 1918 the unification of Romania took place. So 100 years ago. We wanted to have 100 smart city solutions available in Alba Iulia in the year of the century. So in 2018, we wanted to have exactly 100 solutions financed by private companies, not by the local budget. So we managed to convince private companies to invest in solutions, in smart city solutions in Alba Iulia, in order to promote them in the largest fortress in Romania as a stage. So as I said, we had more than 45 companies involved. Now we have more than 50 projects which are functional, because as I said, it was a pilot project, so actually we tested the solutions, and the companies had the chance to promote their solutions in our city. And afterwards, we managed to go further and to attract more EU funding, also in this period of time, 2014-2020, and more than 42 million euros will be invested only in mobility projects, and of course with smart city solutions integrated. We will also have 13 electric buses by starting next year. The public lighting also, it will be completely restored with LED lamps and intelligent crossings for the pedestrians. So, how come a small city like Alba Iulia managed to be effective in city marketing and smart city and compete with cities that are 5 times larger than Alba Iulia? We consider Alba Iulia to be the anomaly. So what was our Find Your Greatness method? Imagine that you could change your city overnight. How? You can imagine that your city is like a startup. So you have to deal with a startup. A startup should be competitive. And we are the co-founder of this startup, our city. The city is our greatness. So everything changes. City management is very competitive. There are 4,000 cities in the EU larger than 100 people, and they all compete for talent and resources. So, why would capital and resources and talent choose our city? Because, people's brain is exposed to more than 3,000 commercials by day, and, of course, the city communication is part of this. Actually, the best news is that people remember only 1%. The worst news is that you compete with that 1% with big commercial brands with huge budgets. No, that's not even the worst news. The worst news is that our staff needs to be better than 99% of the ads made by the greatest companies in Europe, on Earth. So, there are 4,037 cities in the world with a population with more than 100,000 people competing for attention. Attention equals investors, citizens, tourists, students, why not? So we are not even among these 4,037 because we are smaller than 100,000 people. Rijeka has an advantage in this respect. So help. Every piece of communication, therefore, needs to be exceptional. If not, it will be invisible. Because 99% of the communication made by cities or companies is invisible. Otherwise, 100 books from 100 would be perfect, 100 songs from 100 songs, and so on. So what should that be different when it comes to communication of the city? So 99% remains as waste. Otherwise, as I said, 100 companies, organizations, cities would be successful. We are pioneers in this respect. We are different. We are annoying sometimes. We are cocky, we say, compared to other capital. Therefore, never invisible. We are always to do the first in Romania and dare to go there and do the things that we dream for. So this is our thing. What is your thing? Thank you.
Can we have the, okay, please stay there. I don't know, maybe there's going to be any question for you. So if there is a motivational speaker for the cities, I think that we found one. Is there any question for this sympathetic, our guest from Romania? Because, okay, we have a question. And you are guilty because you had the interesting, it's going to be in English, yes?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Renato. I'm an owner of IT company here in Rijeka called Oxygen. And this is a really interesting presentation for me because I found really good examples of what we can do here in Croatia. And my question is, what was the role of private companies in this project? And who gave 100 ideas of what to do inside the project?
So actually, we did not start with a strategy like in the normal cases the city do. We took this challenge to have 100 solutions and invited all the companies in Romania and abroad to join our efforts. And actually, we had telecommunication companies such as Orange, Vodafone, Telecom, who were financing a very important project in education, in e-administration, and so on. But also we had some startups that were participating to innovation hubs and so on, and they provided some solutions agreed by larger companies, and together they implemented, for example, a small solution for buses for the air quality, to test the air quality around. So the companies actually made the strategy of the city. It was not vice versa.
Thank you. Another question? What role did city management had in doing this? Because this was very brave. And I don't know a lot of city officials to be brave enough to enter the such idea to make, city, branding city, and not only in Romania but in Europe. So, how was what's the role, and do you see this as the most important part of city management to give full support to this project?
Of course, city management is very important when you start this process. However, I think the effort was equal from all parties because the involvement of the city management would have not been enough in this project if the other parties will not accept to get involved. So therefore, the city management, of course, plays a real important role, but all parties are very important.
And they are happy now with the results.
They are all very happy, and actually they are also very proud, because when we do all this solution, we also try to involve not only companies, but also citizens, because they want to be part of the process. So, for example, we tried to communicate our projects and the rehabilitation of the fortress, and more than 10,000 people from the city embraced the entire fortress. So without them, the city management would have been a waste.
Yeah. And you're not aiming just for the tourism, I hope, because
No.
this is you're aiming for the smart city, and that's going to be, if everybody is aiming only for the tourism, that's going to be a problem as we see the situation that we are all are living now. So how was that? Because you had a fortress, you want to have like 500,000 tourists now, probably in the last 5 months that is not possible. So this is there need to be the other part that's attracting money and everything, because and this startup idea is great to me.
Yeah, of course, because Alba Iulia, being situated between two big university centers, Cluj-Napoca and Sibiu, of course, needs to work with the local resources to compete with those big cities, because we have our students who leave our city to go to other bigger cities, more competitive. Therefore, our city management had to be very challenging and find the most innovative solution in order to make everyone happy.
Okay, can you tell us a little about a bit, because this was financed through URBACT?
Yes.
Maybe some ideas that you can, or experience that you can transfer to the audience here. The URBACT, for the ones who don't know, is because there a lot of financing coming from there, that program from EU.
Actually, URBACT is a very good program for cities that want to change experience. And for Alba Iulia, for 10 years ago, the URBACT story begins as a follower city. As the mayor of Rijeka said, now is the time that we show to other European cities what we learned through URBACT method and URBACT program. Because changing ideas, that means that you don't have to reinvent the wheel all the times, but you can find those innovative solutions that could fit your local community. And it was the case of Alba Iulia, because it was that how everything started, working with other cities, learning from other cities, and now working with our local community to bring the best of it.